Hello folks, welcome to another video. As we discussed last video, I told you that the fear and greed index was moving too fast. The markets were moving too fast. And that is bad because once the pendulum swings to the other side, it has to come back. And that's what we saw. We saw Bitcoin going above the $95,000 and then crashing back even towards the lower parts of $89,000. So now we've had a little bit of an intraday reset on Bitcoin, on Ethereum. Solana is holding strong, but we're going to talk about it in today's video. So let's jump right into it. So let's start from the beginning and let's actually start with our prices, the prices that we have right here for our cryptocurrencies. We have Bitcoin at $90,000 for 144, Ethereum almost at 3,100. We have XRP at 210, BNB at 889, Solana at 138. Way down below, we have at 13th place, Hyperliquid at 25, Monero at 458, and Zcash at 431. Zcash had a little bit of a meltdown, public meltdown, or community meltdown, because a lot of the insiders and people from the team of Zcash were dumping their shares, were dumping their coins because of vesting periods. You know, as it happens, when the vesting is over, a lot of them are gonna sell some of their bag just, you know, to close these profits and pocket that money. So that being said, we can start by looking at Bitcoin. And as you can see, we had a huge spike in price, a very strong rally in price for Bitcoin, and then it went crashing down. What is holding Bitcoin right now is these two moving averages right here that hopefully they're gonna cross in the 4 hours, and then in the daily they should close again to cross upwards. We want to see the blue above the white because the blue below it's bearish, but the blue above is bullish. So we are almost in a place to call it bullish right now in the short term, in the lower time frames. So if that happens, it is nice and good in the lower time frames, as I said. But as you can see, there's a little bit of difference when you look to Bitcoin and Ethereum. For example, Ethereum didn't crash as hard and didn't recover as hard. You can see Bitcoin went super high, then it bounced, and now it tested again. So it had a little bit of a momentum, a bounce momentum. But Ethereum didn't do that. Ethereum kind of slowed down. It didn't have a huge bounce, as you can see. So it just slowed down, and now we're testing again. But here we already crossed. You can see that the blue crossed above the white line. So that is bullish for us in the short term. Always in the short term. In the long term, especially in this scenario where we have, you know, huge things happening in the geopolitical sphere globally, it doesn't make sense for you to read charts because they're lagging. They're an effect, not a cause. And now if you look at Solana, look at Solana. Solana didn't have that huge meltdown, and we're actually close to what we were before. It's like Bitcoin went down towards the 92 and now we were back at $93,000. Solana actually did that. Solana is holding strong and we're almost about to cross, and you can see that the two moving averages are kind of, you know, pointing upwards, which is bullish for Solana. So Solana, I am very bullish. Also, the indicators, the MACD and the RSI are not bearish, so they could be turning bullish very, very soon. So in the short time frame, in the intraday, you know, in the hourly charts, I am bullish on Solana. I don't know how that will work in the future or for how long, but so far I am bullish on Solana in these lower time frames. And as I said, you can see that the fear and greed index was very, very high just a few days ago. You can see on January 6th, we were 44 in the fear and greed index, and that has dropped to 27 right now. There was a little bit of an euphoria when Bitcoin started going up, and then that euphoria died fast, super, super fast. So retailers are getting the attention span or the dopamine span of a tiny goldfish. So if you are following these indicators, just use them as a reference of how the retailer is feeling. It doesn't mean that the market will react a way of another, because again, these indicators are not the source or not the why, they're just the effect of what something is happening. This is the psychological effect of what people are thinking about the market. And you know, retailers are not the best traders, so you have to look for institution, you have to look for an edge where you can. And this is why options are very, very good, because they allow you to get this edge on delta neutral strategies, on selling volatility or on longing volatility or on doing other strategies other than just looking at prices itself. So you can find indicators and you can try to find the edge everywhere in multiple places. You can even see, for example, the Polygon Pizza report, where these guys are tracking, pizza places across Washington, D.C., close to the Polygon, close to the White House, close to other, government facilities, where when they have spikes in pizza orders, it means that something is about to happen, because it means that these government officials are all gathered together, for a late night of work, like it happened before the Venezuela capture of President Maduro. There was a huge spike in pizza orders close to CIA and close to the Pentagon, because these guys were working late and they needed to eat something. So this indicator, as much as there is some truth behind this of the pizza indicator that something is about to happen because they're gonna get late nights, late shifts because something is about to go down, I think this also is a little bit already too well known to be a edge for you when doing something. But Polymarket, I see people using Polymarket as a edge on huge markets, because there's always some insider that's placing huge bets and very precise bets, high win rates. So these guys, they most likely know something that we don't, and they put their money where their mouth is. So most likely these guys have insider knowledge and they're capitalizing on it. And I still think that for 1 or 2 years, Polymarket will be so niche, not everyone, not the masses, will know about this or will be using this. Maybe they will know, but they won't be using this as much as we think they will. So maybe there's an edge for you to find there, and then with that you can place your trades, or in my case you can sell options, you can make passive income out of it. And speaking about passive income, we started strong for January for the copy trade for both vaults, actually, the 0DT and the alt 0DT. They're doing very, very well. I even made a post about it on Twitter saying that we closed a 1%, I think 2 days ago. In a single day we made 1% on the alt 0DT, which was a very, very good trade. So most likely we are going to have good January when it comes to the copy trading, and we're also getting more people in, more money deposited. Assets under management is now almost at $7 million. So that is fantastic for us to hear. Again, if you want to join, if you want to deposit your money right here and we do the trading for you for a small fee, we have historical data, we have a good track over 1 year of trading here for you to look and see how we have been profitable. We beat the market last year. We're gonna beat the market this year for sure, because Sven is a fantastic trader. He's the CEO of Bitopics and he's doing a fantastic job with the copy trading for both the Bitcoin and the altcoin strategies. So if you want to check it out, first link in the description will bring you to Bitopics. You just need to register and then you can deposit, or you just need to register and you'll be able to watch the course for free. We have a masterclass, a huge course, an academy with I think more than 15-16 lessons about going from zero to hero when it comes to trading crypto options. So if you want to learn, you don't need to deposit anything, just register with the link down below. It is free. So I personally should start this week to go back and trade a little more on Ethereum and Solana, maybe not Bitcoin. So I should be starting my trades again this week, and most likely I'm going to be selling puts. I still don't know what I'm going to trade, but most likely Solana or Ethereum puts are going to be sold, or put spreads are going to be sold for me to collect some income, some cash right here. But we have so much happening that next week. We have jobs coming out. We have a lot of market data for JP Morgan and other big companies, big stocks. So the markets should be a little volatile next week. Then we have Trump and Greenland. That is a whole nother video, just Trump trying to buy Greenland, offering $100,000 per person in that country. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of, news, geopolitical events. Iran is very, very close for something to happen in Iran. We also have tension in Taiwan, in Syria. So there's a lot of things happening in the global aspect of things, and that could shift the market. So maybe I should look for an iron condor, or maybe for a strangle. Who knows? I have to sit down, start doing my due diligence once again. But then by Friday next week, we should know how my trade went. Maybe even by Tuesday, when the next video comes out, you should be seeing what trade I opened, if I open any trade at all. So hopefully this was a good video, a good update. We have also gold, precious metals, uranium, plutonium, silver. They are going high. They're going up and up and up once again. I'm sure we're going to see $100 per ounce of silver this year, maybe even this quarter. So if you don't have any precious metals, They can be stored digitally or they can be physical assets. If you don't have them, consider doing so, especially when there's huge tensions. Whenever there's wars, conflicts, tensions, these precious metals, they tend to go up quite a lot. And especially if we have huge tensions with Taiwan, we're going to have a lack of gold. Gold and silver are huge components in the chip industry, so that should go up by quite a lot. We also have silica and other, semiconductors that are going to go up in price by a lot. So if you don't have exposure to that, I advise you to do some research on that. And if you want to trade gold options, we have that on BitTopics as well. So gold options are now available, and they have been available for a few weeks now on BitTopics. So you can speculate on gold on BitTopics. So check it out if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. So have a good weekend. I'll see you guys then. Peace.